Welcome everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you for joining me. If you're new to my channel and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please click the button. Also leave a comment, hit like, all those things help support my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Today we're going to take a look at Pink Floyd's Pulse, a live album from 1995, but in this case, while I've already done a review of this album, and I'll put a link in the description below, I'm not really reviewing it here, as much as I want to show you guys how to change the batteries in it. I've gotten some requests from the subscribers on my channel, and I thought I would take this opportunity to show you guys how to do it. So following their return though in 1994 with the Division Bell, they did release this here, Pulse, in 1995, and of course it's most notable for having a full performance of the 1973 album Dark Side of the Moon on it. But unlike their previous live album, Delicate Sound of Thunder, there were no studio overdubs to this one here. It is entirely live. Now, at the time of the release, this cost $35, and it's a pretty great packaging, and you know, slipcase like this, hardback book. It even has a pulsing light, which you can see mine is out, and that's why we're going to be changing the batteries on this. So even though it was $35 back in 1995, that was a pretty hefty price tag for a double album. It did sell nearly 200,000 copies in its debut week to enter at #1 on the Billboard 200 album charts, ultimately being certified double platinum. So as I said, this originally had a pulsing light here, which was a pretty cool marketing ploy to tie in with the name on it. And of course, mine has gone out, so I'm going to show you guys how to change that. So first thing we want to do is take the book out of it and just put that down. We're just focusing on this part of it here. And it's going to be a little hard for you to see, but inside there, about maybe 3/4 of an inch to an inch in, you're going to feel a piece of cardboard. And if you put your finger on it like inside here and you kind of slide it back and forth, you're going to feel that there's some movement in it. And you just have to pull that forward. Put your finger on it and pull forward. I like to use 2 fingers when I do it. And you can see this is starting to slide out here, of which there's actually information on it. And then once you've got that, just keep pulling. It might be a little tight. You can wiggle it a little bit back and forth at the end, and you will get this. And then you can see the pulse that's here, and there's a little groove that's cut out on the top. So you can just lift this thing straight up and out. You can see that mine is actually missing the batteries because I took them out a long time ago, as I didn't want them to corrode and eventually to start leaking battery acid or something, and of course destroy this. I want to keep the you know, the addition of this is nice and clean as possible. So it does take 2 AA batteries, and you can see the spring down here. So you put the, in this case, I believe that's the negative side of the battery on there. And then you do the same thing with the next one to the top, and immediately you can see that it starts flashing on here. So now we're going to just slide it back in the same way that we got it out. You just wiggle it in a little bit there till it goes down. Right, and now it's in. So getting it back in is a little more difficult. In here, when we slide this thing in, I find it's best to take the bottom end and start at the middle of it where it's a little looser. And once you get it in there, you just bring it down until it hits the bottom of it, and then you can get the top in. Now, when you start pushing it, it might get a little tight. So for me, I use a straight edge, something hard with a flat edge. You could use a butter knife, maybe a screwdriver, but not something sharp, something with a flat on it. And then you can take it like this, and you can see it just pushes it right in really smooth. Now, on this end, I've got my pulsing light going on again, and I can take the booklet of this, and I can just slide it in like so. And when it sits on my shelf, I'm gonna now have the Pulse for the album Pulse by Pink Floyd. And there you go. That's how you change the batteries on it. It's very simple. If you are looking for a full review of this album, you can check that out in the description below. I'm going to put a link in there to the previous review that I did of this album, and you can check that out. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, please remember to leave your comments. Let me know your thoughts. I hope everyone has a great day, and I'll talk to you all real soon. Bye, everyone.